What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. So now, with that being said, man, I wanna speak on a video that I just came across from who was this from Hoops Voltage, right? And it's about the LeBron James PED allegations and stuff like that. And it occurred to me that like this is something that LeBron James will never be able to, in my opinion, unless he finds a way to prove that he wasn't, juicing up. This will be something that's going to really follow him probably for the rest of his life. And especially with so many people now coming out and speaking about it, like I'm Hoops Voltage just did this video, and it's probably like about a day or so old, and it's just not gonna go away. And then you had this guy, what's his name, Chael Sonnen, who his claims, people always refer to him and use his quotes anytime they talk about LeBron James and PED, performance enhancement, right? And I just think that if it wasn't true, I would think that LeBron James, would sue, because this right here, these kind of allegations can really mess up your can really mess up your legacy and make you look bad. So with that being said, man, I want to play this the audio from this guy from Hoops Voltage, and I want to come back and give my reaction.
Doncic is back in. Oh, LeBron! Oh! He reached back and then threw it down with the left hand.
LeBron James is 41 years old and still flying through the air like he just found the fountain of youth in a Gatorade bottle. Most people his age are worried about back pain from sleeping wrong, but he's out here catching posters on the Wizards. It makes you wonder, is this just good genes, or is science doing the heavy lifting? Before we get into the supplements, do you think LeBron is actually the GOAT, or is he just the most expensive science project in NBA history?
By 8.
This crowd's happy now.
Let's be real for a second. We all saw that clip against Washington. LeBron is barreling down the lane, 41 years of mileage on those knees, and he decides to reach back with his left hand and flush a dunk so hard the rim is still vibrating. But let's look at the math here. The average NBA player retires around 33. By 35, most stars are looking like they're running in sand. Kobe, Shaq, Dirk, by the end, they were moving like they had bricks in their socks. Meanwhile, LeBron is at an age where he should be transitioning into a podcast and golf lifestyle. Yet he's still playing 35 minutes a night and leading fast breaks. It's almost as if he's found a way to stop time. Or, more accurately, maybe his investments are doing the stopping for him.
If the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think
there's only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to, but there's only one golfer that follows the big three. And the big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods. Like, yes, it does matter. People will say it all the time. It doesn't matter. John Daly, one of these. It matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketball understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth quarter
red blood
just like
cells,
you
more
shot in the
oxygen
fourth
in your
minute.
red blood cells. Okay, got you.
It's the king of performance enhancers.
You've probably heard.
All right, so and remember now, Paul George just recently got suspended for 25 games for we don't know if it's EPOs or what, right? He said it was because of, I think it was Adderall. He said it was because of the NBA hasn't really commented on that, but I think that the NBA may have a bigger performance enhancement problem than they are letting on to. And so, you got more guys playing longer. Like Paul George, he suffered a really, really bad leg injury a few years ago, And now if you look at him, he just looks, who came out? Just Dylan Brooks just said that, it's quite obvious that he doing something, that Paul George is doing something, because he just, he just looked too good out there on the court for somebody who has the kind of mileage that's on him, right? And so the same thing goes for LeBron James. People think that, he looked too good for somebody who's 41 years old. And the thing is, it's almost like they think that the fans are dumb and the fans don't know any better. So as long as they deny it, then they think that the fans will they'll be able to change the fans' mind, which I'm sure that they won't be able to change the fans' mind. I think once LeBron James retire, if he is, I think that's when something like that will come out, because I don't think that the NBA at this point in time in his career wants to be associated with performance enhancements. I think it'll probably hit a little bit different if he's not in the league anymore. So let me get back to playing.
Our friendly version of this story, Maverick Carter and the LeBron camp love to tell us that he spends $1.5 million a year on his body. That's a lovely, wholesome number. It makes you think of fancy organic kale, cryotherapy tanks, and maybe a very expensive personal trainer who yells at him to do one more rep. We're supposed to believe that if we all just had $1.5 million and a hyperbaric chamber, we'd also be windmill dunking at 40. Sure. And I'm sure that hyperbaric chamber is definitely filled with extra oxygen and nothing else. Definitely.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and LeBron on the Pat McAfee said that number, like as far as him spending that money on his body, that's exaggerated. He said he don't even know where people got that from, right? But my thinking is LeBron, if LeBron should have kept that, he should have kept that out there and not just distill that notion or myth or whatever you want to call it, because now they've said, okay, so if you don't spend a lot of money on your body, then what is it? Are you on something? It's just so much evidence out there, and it's not really looking good. You have NBA players who are saying it, so it's really not looking good for LeBron.
Special sauces being whipped up in the back of that Mercedes Sprinter he uses as a mobile recovery unit.
I want to know, for the people, man, who are watching, what would this mean for LeBron James's legacy if this is true? If he's on this, Balco, this new juice. I want to know, man. Like the way he slipped it in and he said it.
Control Alt Delete. Slip the what? Damn, relax.
Damn.
Control Alt Delete.
Damn. That was almost as bad as Darvin Ham when he said whip it out. Huh?
Yeah,
that was crazy. My bad.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But the way KG said it and the way Paul Pierce reacted to it, it's kind of like, we knew about this. Like he didn't say, whoa, what are you talking about? Like there was no reaction to it.
Let's talk about the whispers that have been following the king.
All right. As far as his legacy, if they don't, and I'm gonna go back on that. I think that if they don't catch him during his during his career, I don't think it's gonna come out. I don't think, because when you think about Barry Bonds, people it was a lot of rumors and whispers about Barry Bonds. Who else? Who was that? Roger Clemens and those guys. So maybe it's not going to come out, but I think that because I don't think anything came out about Roger Clemens. Barry Bonds, I don't think, nothing came out about him, because now the thing is, like, all right, the records come into question. Like he has 40,000 points and all this stuff. If he was cheating, if it's found out that he was cheating and that stuff come out, that's really not going to look good on the league. So now that I think about it, that PED thing, I don't think it's going to ever come out. I think that because the NBA has a vested interest to always brush that under the rug, just like Major League Baseball, they just painted themselves in a corner where as though they can't really, they're not really going to go after Barry Bonds once he retired, since he's retired. Roger Clemens, they're not going to mess with those guys. it affects how the public look at both of those guys, Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. And I think it'll be the same thing for LeBron James' legacy. Like, people going to look at him like he was a cheater, like he was a cheater. And then there's some doubt in their head. Just like right now, we're going through a situation where Bill Belichick didn't get into the Hall of Fame, the first ballot. What's the Robert Kraft didn't get voted in, right? And so while they were playing, you had Deflategate, you had Spygate, and so now I think that's part of the penalties for being caught up in those type of scandals. I think that maybe even Tom Brady should be concerned, like he may not get in on his first go round, right? So I think this is what the way they're going to get you, but because Tom Brady got caught cheating or he got penalized for cheating, Bill Belichick got penalized for cheating, the New England Patriots got penalized, and I think this is how they're going to get you. Like when it comes time to go into the Hall of Fame or some other way that they can affect your legacy, I think they're going to do that, right? So LeBron James, like I said, once he retire, I think it's going to be some consequences and some repercussions behind the allegations, at least behind the allegations. So, but I don't think it's going to come out like once he retire. I don't think the NBA want to be associated with performance enhancements. I don't think they want to be associated with like, people thinking that, well, they allowed him to get away with it. They just want him to fade off into the, just fade off into the sunset. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video.